I'm happy to announce that the 2022 PMG Grand Finals will be a major offline event in Indonesia in January. PMGC League will be 48 teams. The best of best teams from each region qualified through the year. The most to ever in our offline event will join to PMGC League. The top 13 teams will take their place in Grand Finals with 3 direct invites. As well as PMWI, Sony's Xperia will be the official smartphone partner for 2022 PMGC, ensuring all players are able to perform at the highest level on the biggest stage. And that's not all yet. I'm excited to talk to you about a new competition, PUBG Mobile Regional Clash, beginning next month. The PMRC is focusing on pitting different regions against each other, beginning with PMPL Southeast Asia versus PEL. You never want to miss it, so please follow us from September 22nd to 25th. Okay, it's a time to go back to enjoy PMWI. On the circle! Thank you!
The only thing I'm disappointed in that is that he's not doing more martial arts for us, because that was always my favorite part of Yang and having a chat with us about PUBG Mobile Esports. But fantastic to see as well. We learned about a little bit about PMGC, going to be in Indonesia here in January with the 4 weeks in November, the regional clash as well. Max, I know you had your eye on.
I mean, it's going to be great to see a lot of the Chinese teams from PL actually playing versus the SEA teams, right? Got that rivalry happening a lot of the time. So, I mean, normally you see in these international events like 1, 2 teams from PL. Here you're going to have like half of the lobby PL teams. Like, that's going to be pretty insane.
Yeah, we mentioned it before, but I mean, two regions that have excellent teams at the very top. So to see them kind of clash and just make this mega lobby, I think is going to be very exciting.
Well, by the way, if you guys didn't know, I remember I taught you all at home about different prizes you can win and different ways you can win. We do have a meme contest currently happening. So you need to check out, Instagram and Facebook stories for fan-made memes. You need to make your own and post them over on your own page, and make sure to tag PUBG Mobile Esports as well. And there will be some winners picked out with some lucky prizes. I'm not going to say exactly what they're going to be, but they're good. You're going to want them. Trust me on that one. And speaking of memes, I mean, Max, you are the meme master. Maxman meme master.
I was a meme.
I was good, yeah. Speaking of memes, Max is a meme. Continue.
Go on.
And what was your question? I went completely
off.
There was
no question.
Oh, okay. It was just like, okay, I'm a meme then. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, memes are good. I want to see them posted on social media. Maybe I'll share them.
I mean, we did have a phenomenal couple of them back in, was it PMGC 2020, of how to beat Bigatron. A1 Esports was a big proponent in how to do that. Maybe we'll have to revive some with the Indonesian. I mean, for here at the event, we have the Indonesian talent, we have the Arabic talent, we have the Turkish talent, so we have some things lined up potentially to do all together for some fun little things.
Pretty much updated version, I would say. Well,
pretty much it's going to be all of us with Max in the center of a circle, and all of us are going to make fun of him and be mean to him in different languages. Yeah.
Point and laugh, guys. Okay, no, don't do that, please.
I won't. Jason will.
Oh, yeah. He will do that.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not
I
interested.
won't. Jason will.
Oh, yeah. He will do that. Right?
We have to do a crawdad dance in the middle of the circle.
Could be an emote in the game in the future. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of potential for it. What's up, Claris? You're looking at me like you don't know what's happening.
I'm enjoying myself.
You're enjoying yourself? Okay, well, let's enjoy ourselves by talking about maybe some other teams. Any other guys you want to talk about here that we didn't touch on, either at the top of the show or in that last match?
I would have to talk about here, I would say Wildcats, right? They had some good intention when it comes to their rotation. As we know, they dropped like a sort of item military position around the map. And it was like a tough circle afterwards. You had to go for the wide rotation up north. I think that there was some good intention behind it. The execution was maybe a little bit all over the place. And I think that for them dealing for the first time with this type of lobby, they have to adapt a little bit more. But the idea was there, in my opinion.
For me, I'm of the opinion that Military Island is a bit of a dead drop. For Stalwart, they've got the absolute world class to be able to negate quite a bit of that. For Wildcats, I'm a little bit concerned if that's going to pay dividends later going into this tournament. We'll see based on playing paths, based on drops as a whole, and see how that's going to go out throughout the tournament. But I do have my concerns there.
Okay, well, I mean, obviously there's another region we haven't really touched on, unfortunately, because typically we've seen in the past couple of years they can't really compete when it comes to these global events. Back-to-back, a team from North America, they have been able to win PMPL back-to-back, which is a great sign. But the unfortunate, or not unfortunate part is, but the fact is they need to show what they can do. I would love to see them do what they can, or show what they can do, because I'm American and I would love to see them do well.
Yeah, I mean, it's been proven that they can dominate locally. Like, when it comes to their region, they can do just so well. So I'm hoping we can see some good representation from back-to-back, but it's going to take some time to get there.
All right, well, speaking of getting there, we're going to be getting to the second match of the day here momentarily. We're going to be heading over to Miramar this time, which is going to be quite interesting again. A bigger map, so we have obviously more teams. Maybe that's going to facilitate them a little bit more. But I know while we were watching the last match, we were quite surprised by how many teams were still left alive, how late into the match we actually got into over on Erangel. But speaking of getting over to, let's head on over to John on a Blank once again to kick off our second match.
Thank you so much, Jason. We are ready and raring to go over on Miramar. It's going to get a little bit hotter, maybe matching the temperatures here in Riyadh. It's been pretty hot for a couple of Brits like us, eh, Blank? It's even the walk from the shuttle from the hotel to the event here is absolutely boiling.
It is pretty intense, I'm not going to lie. I've stepped into the world's oven. I'm sure some people really enjoy it. I actually did enjoy it. I enjoy it for the first 10 minutes each time because it's the driest heat I've ever had. So it just feels like having a very hot aircon going on just everywhere. That's actually just wind and the sun. Natural. That's just how things work. But some of these teams have been finding things very natural in games so far. Vampire looks like this is just second nature to them here in the PMWI, just taking names and taking those elimination points home for themselves. Here on Miramar, though, just looking at a couple of the drops so far, El Pozo as well as Picado are absolutely stacked in terms of teams that will be dropping here. You've got Regan's, Box Gaming, and Aton Esports all dropping in Picado together. El Pozo got Damwon, Donuts, and Enigma Galaxy. So one of these teams is going to come out on top in those specific locations. We'll just have to find out who.
El Pozo a little bit late on this drop path at the moment, as we are. We've got a secret sneak peek at the plane path here, Blank. Don't tell anyone, all right? Keep it on the down low. But El Pozo will be a little bit later on that progression for these players. Maybe could affect the number of teams that do opt to go there fully, but then again, maybe not. We were talking a lot about how teams want to hold on to what they've got. Certainly going to make a difference if they make it or not. But we're going to go into Miramar in game number 2. The plane takes to the skies over the desert once more.
So immediately heading up here, Los Leones can pick up a lot of these teams in this current playing path that we will be seeing on your screens very, very shortly. And I feel like I'm telling the future right now. That's because I absolutely am. So a couple of teams could drop it towards Los Leones. There's not too many teams that I've seen so far that have been dropping in Los Leones exclusively, but that can hold at least 3, which will alleviate some of the problems, especially with Miramar being such a large map anyway.
We head into the game. You can see now the plane path that we've been seeing from the southeast side up to La Cobreria. Seeing where teams drop out. And of course, the first time this is going to be played at the top level with 18 teams. Keeping an eye on those drops like a hawk.
Absolutely. And with 6 of these teams dropping exclusively in Picado and El Pozo, honestly, everywhere else that teams want to go to should be absolutely free. So just looking at this one in particular, Impala for Wildcats, this is a place that they love to go. They're already dropping out in that location already. So this seems fantastic. You know, honestly, I've seen a fair few matches from Wildcats as well where playing path has been absolutely diabolical for them going to Impala, yet they still go to Impala. They love it there. So this is a great start for them here on Miramar. And perhaps, you know, maybe they can shore up some of those issues that maybe they had over on Erangel, where things just really did not go their way versus Stalwart.
Puerto Paraíso currently being held by VGS as they dropped out really very early. Down one, Kier headed further southwest. I imagine they're going to be moving over towards Minister Valdemar on that southwestern edge. But Box Gaming and Team Seoul look at a clash in Picado. Only 2 teams at the moment in very close proximity in this location. Neither team yet taking a knock. But look at that very forward position from one of the players from Box. I didn't quite catch the name there. But they are absolutely in the lion's den amongst Seoul, Bensu, with players all around. Omega on that outskirt has the back fall out for Bensu, has a vehicle, sorry, not a vehicle, a weapon as well in hand. Do they know that there's a player here from Seoul?
Picado can hold 2 of these teams, but you do have to be constantly on a swivel here, John, to make sure that no one's creeping up behind you. Box Gaming, very certain on positions that they want to hold around this map. Trismay with the M249, already with a very heavy-hitting weapon, which could be very dangerous should it come to close quarters with these teams inside these compounds. But it would look like Regans as well as Aton Esports have dipped from this location. You can see Regans on our screen, at least on the map feed. You got DD as well as one other player in Los Leones alongside with Aton Esports, actually. So this is very, very interesting. Regans have north and Atons have south side of Los Leones. So this works out exactly what I was talking about earlier, that Los Leones is massively free. And it looks like Regans and Aton happy to not go Picado, not go to that usual position, and instead take a safer spot here towards Los Leones.
Really just a bit of a standoff for Team Seoul and Box Gaming right now in Picado. They have extricated themselves from one another, although Bensu's still pretty close by. A couple of shots have been landed as well between the 2 teams. But, of course, it's not just the teams that are going to be getting stuff done here. Of course, you have the opportunity to get the gun skin and outfit for the PMWI from the 4th to the 13th of this month. 50% off PMWI packs, and you can get a set straight away with that, as well as 5 chances to draw PMWI treasure chests.
And if you can't take advantage of that, next little sale period we do have is from 14th to the 15th of September. So that's 14th this month through to 15th of September. That's 16% of PMWI packs, and you get 6 chances to draw those PMWI treasure chests. So make sure you are getting on that early to reap the rewards. But if not, there's still chances ahead of you.
And of course, you can complete daily missions to earn points. And once enough points are accumulated, you tap on the rewards icon to claim the corresponding reward.
If you want to participate in the event solo or team with other players, that's absolutely fine as well. But team them up, that could give you an extra little chance and make the reward to get a little easier. So make sure you tell all your friends about it and get them on board.
Goodness me, it looks like Bensu and...
Actually, they're mates.
I don't think so. I do not think that they will wait 1 second after seeing one another to try and make it all the worse for them. To stand off. Seoul has backup, though. If actually just waiting
those are
for
mates.
a team, those are his mates, right? And so if he pushes in whilst he has that backup, you can trade it off, right? That's what you're really looking for. It's the value of a team. You saw Hector there on the sidelines as well with a nice vantage point to get an off angle. Watch for those players pushing around that flank side. We hop on board with Enigma Galaxy, though, as they are vibing on around in El Pozo, the only team to actually drop up there.
Yeah, so this is the one that we were curious about. USG, for our donuts, were very, very hell-bent on taking Rozhok on Erangel here, but they have given up El Pozo. You know, they're happy to give it to another team. You know, Enigma Galaxy, they took 2 points off them last game, ruined their Erangel, so they'll throw them a coin just this one time. Instead, heading up towards El Azahar on that northeastern side, but no one else is here, so this is a very viable drop for them. Looking at down one, who also another El Pozo team, they're down towards Valdemar, so they'll take that up on the western edge. They will have to contend with back-to-back, who do love to go for a southern rotation, but it's TJB coming in from Chumacera to ruin their day.
Yeah, they take one of the players from back-to-back down. Early scouting, losing a player, not ideal on Miramar. But sadly, it's the risk you run. Team Seoul looking to put the pressure onto Box. This is a fight. The initiative is being taken by Team Seoul here, Blank. They are choosing this fight. They are making this one happen. Box Gaming looked like they were content to sit back a little bit. maybe it's a strategy. Maybe it's aggression through passiveness, right? Allow them to move to you. Allow them to make those missteps.
Well, way back in day, it was always very hard to break the box formation. That was always the very, very difficult thing to get through. And right now, Box are happy to just sit in this building. Now, back-to-back, just quickly going back to that last fight there between TJB as well as back-to-back. You know, they actually really struggled with this in the finals of Spring 2022, is that on our angle particularly, they would send one scout out and lose that scout very, very early on, dropping them down to 3 players. Already, this is becoming a problem here on Miramar. A lot of these other teams keeping it very, very tight, but Bensu finds one of the players trying to slip through the cracks, but that's not going to happen. The box formation is tight.
It is absolutely on the ball. Really, really nice stuff there. Omega a little bit too far forwards. No backup really from Team Seoul on that angle, and a nice opening. And look, Box Gaming move forwards. They re-establish that perimeter. They reclaim this territory. There is a sideswipe potential for Team Seoul if they get that spot, but there's a backstab. Morpher here, over the hill, and it's just Frenzy for the time being, but he has reinforcements coming from the north. Break looking to put this fight into gear now as Team Seoul are on the back foot. Around the side, the reload needs to come through. A lot of damage to Bensu, but it's not enough to get the knock. Break, however, finds Goblin. Akshat now flagging for Team Seoul. 3 players alive for Box as they've lost 1.
It was actually Regans from the western side that took the knock onto Box. And this was the team that originally liked to play Picardo on that southern edge. And they've just taken a little bit of time in Los Leones, sweep back up here, and ready to reclaim Picardo for their own, knowing that this was going to be a hotly contested spot. Most likely 2 teams locked together. And now they're going to take advantage of this. Very good from Regans.
Seoul really suffering under this pressure from Box Gaming. 3 elimination points already found. Losing 1, you feel like you're going to take that for now. I feel like that might lay claim to Picardo for them in the future Miramars that we're going to see. If they're lucky, we'll see if Team Seoul want to try and vie for that again. But as you say, RSG, Morph, both moving in from both sides of Picardo.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a squeeze going on here, but it does seem like China is really trying to take a nasty little split. You can see it on your screen right now, where it's just coming down from the hills in Picardo. 52 Esports have taken a knock there. They're right on the western side. I believe that is to Nigma Galaxy. So Nigma Galaxy trying to pick up some more points. Ralph, though, right on the eastern side, he's looking for a compound for the rest of the team to stay, but they're busy with 52 Esports right now.
Looks like 52 Esports are just going to try and keep moving down south. You can see them all mounted up in those vehicles on that western edge. Monte Nuevo, the central focal point of this next circle, just a little bit further out east. It's good for back-to-back right now, who have a lot of that sort of area, despite them losing a player early. If TJB, with GK first moving in there now, can take position there as well on the eastern side, TJB will also be in a phenomenally strong spot.
So back-to-back able to, regroup just a little bit here in there. And it's so unfortunate because we really are dropping into their original drop spot right now in Monte Nuevo. I don't think it was necessary to send one down south, but this is something they've done before. I think with 18-team lobby, it's not so wise anymore taking those ridge lines because there's going to be a lot of teams there. It's not as safe to be dangling one of your players down on the south edge of the map. VGS trying to make their way up behind teams like Damwon from Valdemar. They are just neck and neck here with TJB. You can see them on the screen. Damwon Kia trying to find a little place to call home.
Damwon Kia moving up from the south side. Adriera being positioned on now. A lot of scouts, as you were talking about, getting picked off, right? It seems like so far we've seen 3 one-player losses on Box Gaming, to be fair. That was in a compound fight. So 2 scouts really being picked off right now. 52 and back-to-back, both losing one of those players. We'll see if that comes back to bite them. Both of them a little bit on that western side. I mean, you've got 52 certainly a lot heavier in there, but they're moving in on the northwestern end of Monte Nuevo. Daymar
just about lives here for Falcons, but will be knocked by missile from USG. Makes it happen, looks for some more, but it is an off angle coming through from Falcons. Here on the home turf, trying to keep the rest of their team alive.
Needs to choose who to display the flank to there to get the heal off, but Missile stays alive for now. Yusuf Trying to get those shots in. Mikun does get behind cover, takes the spray, but doesn't land more than just the one, just a tickle, and needs to heal up as well.
Yeah, Omikun just has to walk away from that one. Falcon's able to send them back just a little bit. They're still both on this northeastern edge. 4 rivals moving down as a 2-2 split between El Pozo as well as Crater Field. So they're trying to get a lot of information gathered nice and early on. Vampire Esports coming down from Puerto Paraíso. They're heading towards Minas del Valle. Honestly, they're going to be moving up through Chumacera in a second, but they've opted to stay outside of the circle and in the blue to make sure no one catches them on this long rotate.
On your screens right now. Holding the ridge on a line. Trying to keep their position safe. South side, it's the Vampires. They've yet to push on in, yet to start the frag fest that we saw from them last game. The question is it repeatable or is it an Erangel special?
Is it an Erangel special? That is the real question here. John, Nigma Galaxy still central at the moment.
They're right in the middle there, just a little bit further north, and in fact the circle does shift down a little bit further south. And they will be looking to move with that circle. Right in the middle of it, TJB. They have absolutely slap bang center circle right now. Damwon Kia, who have been waiting in the wings for their position for a while now, are going to be looking to push on in and maybe try and take control of that central area as well.
Yeah, they're looking to pick up that central area at the moment, back-to-back, moving down at the moment. Nigma Galaxy taking a little while to head into this location, but we are really getting a little bit tough with all these teams crunching up towards the middle. Wildcats, though, coming from Impala on the eastern side, moving through Chumacera at the moment. Seoul with just one player remaining, Hector. Box still yet to break away from Picardo at the moment. It's a bit weird, but it is Stalwart actually moving down from Power Grid, just behind Keyed Esports.
I mean, maybe, you know, Box Gaming, they're playing with 3 now. They're just going to try and take things a little bit slower, play that edge, potentially. I mean, it's a difficult position, right? You're playing with 3 now. You've lost that ability to really scout as effectively. With more players, more rotations becoming dangerous, you're not really willing to take those chances potentially. But they do actually strike out. They move down southwest from their old position, leaving Hector in the dust, and they take that eastern flank of the circle.
Not a bad position for them to be in at the moment for Box Gaming. Obviously down to just 3 players, but 3 elimination points. You'll take that any day of the week, especially here on Miramar. Now, what really can't happen here for a lot of these teams, you know, is Vampire Esports. They know that they're being headhunted right now. If they start to get ahead once again in this match, things become extremely difficult for a lot of these other teams to start catching up if they continue that momentum going forward. Right now, though, they are really squeezed tight on that southern edge, just around Chumacera, with one other team in Wildcats coming in just behind them. Schweppes from Vampire Esports, though, will have the bead on Wildcats, where the rest of the team in 3 are just ahead of them towards the north, so they should get info on this nice and early.
Yeah, on a 3-1 split, or maybe even a 1-2-1 split from Vampire Esports. Just taking a look at where they are sat on the map. They are yet to fully regroup. They did play a lot of that Northern Rossock at some points. They played in that 2-2 split, so they are used to playing a little bit more of that split play style. Certainly that would be the evidence from the last game anyway, and it certainly worked.
Another look at the map here. It's just getting real struggle bus. And, you know, I did not expect this whatsoever, but we still have 18 teams. Vampire Esports, though, Schweppes in the back line, stays alive, but it's Wildcats who are taking shots, and this is the info that Schweppes is able to provide the rest of the team. Next circle, pops in, heads down south, so Vampire Esports still very happy. Looks though, does hit the shots onto Schweppes, will take him down, and that is Vampire Esports down to 3, but there's still more shots along the way. It's Fluketh once again.
Really solid backup there. The off angle's perfectly found. Heals needing to come through from the Wildcats, and they are yet again suppressed on this ridgeline. Really difficult, but Vampire Esports looking to potentially be down to 3. They've lost their Schweppes on the outside there, and they will be at 3. They had 4 in that previous game, but the circle moves to them.
I mean, if they get another circle shift, though, they are in a real safe spot. Like, look how hard it is to approach these buildings. The only issue they might fall into is without those 4 players, it does become a little harder to pick up on all these angles. Again, though, Aton Esports is their difficulty going forward, and it looks like Vampire Esports know that this is a position on the map that they need to watch out for. Really good stuff from Fluketh. His shots have been on point. He's been looking all over the map at the moment, really, really keeping it clean here for Vampire Esports.
I mean, that was one of their characteristics of the last game, right? Snappy engagements, I think Matt said on the desk. Making those clean engagements. That's exactly what you want to be looking for. Even better on Miramar.
Damwon still struggling to just find anywhere that's super concrete for them. It's on the edge of this hill at the moment. 52 Esports coming into play here. Enigma Galaxy, one of their players, I believe it was Hamodi, did go down here. They're just trying to get down through the circle on that northern side.
It looks like 3 of them are down. They're losing players left and right. Enigma Galaxy suffering heavily. They had not the best of starts, losing 2 players early in the last game. The first team to go down, in fact. I think it's just Freak alive for them now. At the back as well. Not really a chance to get these reses. Going down first twice in a row. Not the way you want to start your tournament. Certainly would be a disaster. Team Seoul, though, seem to be survivors. They were on 1 for the longest time in that first game. And out they go. Yet again, first team eliminated.
A miserable start here for Enigma Galaxy. Really, really not fun. But you know what, John? There's still Sandhawk ahead for them. And honestly, that is the map where they prevail the most.
They know how to survive. They know how to get it done. But there's more frags on the hillsides as Donuts USG looking to move up past 4 rivals, and only Jumper can stand in their way now. 52 as well in the back line. Proving to be difficult to deal with as Jumper spotted away. That was it. I don't even know who that was, but
Virtual Gaming Squad took him down there. Good stuff.
Morph drop a nade right on top of one of their own teammates, but they take an enemy down in the process. I'm not sure if that's worth it at this late stage.
Damwon Kia, though, you see, they have just been keeping an eye out all over the place, and this ties right back into what the desk was saying at the beginning of the day. They are a survivalist team. They're going to try and see how far they can get, but 52 Esports still trying to lay claim around this area.
I agree. An applause ringing out there. Not too sure what that was for, but
52 Esports.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, to be fair, absolutely. Damwon Kia, they lose Forest on the hillside. You're not going to be able to get him back up. Daku spots Sung as well. A lot of Damwon Kia struggling to survive. Fabian and Junie, though. A formidable duo, to be sure. Fabian takes half HP, but excellent backup coming through to be able to shut that one down. Vaz taken out there. Junie, he still has the DBS.
Yeah, it's Korean meta at the moment. All of them use it over in the Korean PMPL. It's pretty insane, but they make it work massively.
TJB take hold of a compound, eliminating back-to-back from that stronghold. They've had a central position for quite a while now, and they will have to move a little bit further south. At the moment, I'm looking at RSG with that central, with pretty much one of the few compounds in this next circle plane.
This is very unfortunate for the team from America, just struggling just a little bit here in the PMWI. Stalwart, though, looking for another consistent game here. That's what I want to see from Stalwart, and we could get some more hope into this team. Action, though, coming over the top and just descends upon VGS. Like we've seen nothing before. Goodness me, swoops in. Talons are strong and sharp. There's nothing you can do against them.
And they should be able to get everyone back up as well. So a full force Stalwart, definitely something to worry about. Pain run down there after the knock. Damwon Kia move up to Daku. Pops out the window, spots Fabian. Needs to be worried about the teammates from the off angle though, but finds the cover from the shack. Through the windows, the bullets pour in, and it's going to be a tall order to get anything done, but Fabian goes down. In the meantime, 52 are eliminated, however. That will slow down Damwon Kia on that northwest flank.
Yeah, TJB have been harassing this team the entire time, and they might just have to leave Fabian behind. Lin moves up. Tends to be the first player to move up a lot of the times for TJB. Sometimes it goes wrong, sometimes it goes marvelously. It's hard to say here with Lin. He's really kind of shaky as a player in terms of being extremely good, or sometimes just not so great.
Volatility, that's really the characteristic of his gameplay. Sung and Junie, 2 players for Damwon Kia. Wildcats under fire as well from Falcons. They're trading 1-for-1 right now on the knocks. X-Ray definitely resable here. And so is Yusuf.
It's a very awkward playing field, but Juni pulls out the DPS. Lin goes down, but it's TJB. They bring it back nicely there, though I would have been very, very scared at the cracking sound that DBS makes as he comes around the corner. And that's why the Koreans take it, just for those singular moments where you can surprise a team coming through.
Unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough to see Danwon Kia safe. TJB Esports EU able to put that pressure down, get that res on as well, get themselves back to 4 and move down south further on, but Falcons from the sides, only Powerful getting knocked, and they are fragging out. The Wildcats cannot stand up to the pressure, but they're now under fire from TJB on the north side. Doesn't matter though, they are absolutely cool, calm, collected. The Wildcats taking shots every which way as well with their last player, X-Ray.
This is a real chance here for the Saudi Arabian team. They're close to the circle as well, but it's STE who's ahead of them. That's the difficulty. Atan Esports, though, keep taking casualties on this southern edge. Falcon Esports really do need to start thinking about making a move, but they've got to figure out where the other teams are. Falukov somehow keeps moving down that hill with the quick feet in action, but it's not enough. Ravenclaw.
Whoa. Able to do the job, able to get it done against Donuts USG. The off angle still dangerous. This should be completely broadside for Bruno right now, but I don't think he's taking that position. I don't think he's pushing up. He knows that his position's known. Maybe just not going to peek it. Not going to take that chance of Vampire up to 2. Falcons look for the crash into the compound. Stalwart are here. RSG are here as well. As Aiton do lose that last player. RSG suffering now under pressure from Stalwart.
This is terrible timing here for STE to try and claim this building that Regans are currently in. Falcon, they just come in at just the right time. Fantastic stuff for them. Laying in the utility. Regans already finds a nade over the top and never alone.
Falcons.
It's on to Pika. The util is coming in clutch.
The nades coming through from Falcons as well for the third party. They're going to be able to take hold of this compound if they keep going. Phenomenal performance on this crash from them, but TJB have oversight. It's difficult to handle now. It's difficult to stymie that pressure, but they will try and lock down those angles. Only action in the compound.
This is what I said for Saudi Arabia. They had to move right now into those buildings, and they took that call, and they made that call in the moment very, very quickly, dropped the utility in, and STE and Regans completely blindsided by the absolute decimation that was laid upon them by the Molotovs, the grenades. Even I saw smoke get thrown in there as well.
Look at that. The replay there from Ravenclaw as well. Phenomenal. A duo for Vampire Esports. 7 elimination points, looking to take out the Wildcats as well. It's only X-Ray. TJB have an angle, potentially onto Ravenclaw, but he's just storming forwards. Shut down as the nades go long, but Flukath in the backline, stung in the back as TinxArK able to handle the Vampires. Van Helsing rides.
Good stuff here from TJB. Keep it very, very steady on this hillside. Wait for the players to reveal themselves before they do lock in the action. And now it's them looking across the way at Falcon. It all depends on this next circle. Falcon would love for it to end on them, but they have to move. This is horrific. But Stalwart, though, action still in it. He's ready and waiting in the wings. And I don't know if Falcon know if he's here or not.
6 elimination points, 3rd place guaranteed. Stalwart, again, with a consistently good result. That's what we're looking for from this team. That's what we want to see, and strong elimination points to boot. Fantastic stuff. But right now, as you said, it's between TJB and the home team here in Saudi Arabia and Riyadh, Falcons.
Well, this is going to be really difficult, though, because TJB, you know, they can't lose any of these players they've sent to the edge side, but this is a very strong split that they're currently employing. It's going to be difficult for any sight lines not to be open to these guys when Falcons do start to move out of this building. So really, really tough stuff. Action just needs to hold his ground, stand his ground here.
Oh, I think he spotted a little shuffle there from Powerful. GK first, trying to suppress those angles. There's the first angle. TJB have such good vantage points, like you were saying.
I know what Falcons are trying to do here. They're trying to get rid of Action, but he is just throwing him for a loop, takes so much damage, and finally goes down to Never Alone. So they do secure that second place. Great stuff from Falcon. Now they need to fight back.
No answer towards GK first. Never Alone taking heavy tick damage from the blue, down to 3. Damar gets res, so Yusuf and Damar, a duo in the forefront. But TJB storming down this hillside, nading through the window, putting everything under pressure, putting Falcons to the test, and second place will be a good finish. They wanted first, but it was not to be. TJB moving through the building, through the window, and it is TJB with game number 2 on Miramar.
Xiao coming in as a new player here as well, stamping his mark at the end of that game and delivering themselves a nice chicken dinner beautifully through the post there. Well done to that team from TJB, representing Europe, which is happy days for us, right?
Nice.
But honestly, TJB, fantastic stuff. Really good split at the end there just to eliminate any angles that Falcons might have taken. But again, big, massive props to Saudi Arabia from Falcons in those last moments to be like, we just have to hammer everything home, taking down Action here in these final moments because we want that second place. We deserve that second place.
I mean, the Falcons weren't able to claim it. They did really quite well. TJB, they got that circle shift. I think circle, what was it, 3 or so, where they were right in the middle. And they then had to move down to from that northwestern side. So happy days.
Yeah, massively so. I think TJB, they were on that western edge for a long time, but slowly made their way in. It was a little bit rough, but they kept absolutely everyone just floundering for answers to what TJB was doing.
Well, that is going to be it for game number 2. We're going to head to a short break, and we'll head back over to the desk.
Progress is a race that has no end. After every finish line, another challenge awaits. How can we continue to push innovation in a sport at the forefront of technology? This is how. Discover how Aramco and the Aston Martin Formula One team aim to meet Formula One's sustainable fuel targets. Aramco, powered by How.
All right, well, TJB taking a win here for Western Europe, and a win that Kolaris himself predicted. He saw the zone go their way, and he's like, TJB win these. And they did. And it was good.
Said that as if... Anyway, we have ourselves, yes, them getting themselves a win. It was brilliant stuff to actually see them actually take this. But admittedly, it's a home circle for them, effectively, to be able to control these. That having that Chumacero split gives them a great opportunity to find themselves those nice high ground spots to be able to stage their plays from, and they do traditionally, when we watch them in these circles, they win them here, Max.
When it comes to terrain knowledge in that position, like no one beats TJB, right? And also they saw that third party happening. They saw Falcons get involved into the fight. Like this is prime opportunity to start gatekeeping teams now. Like if we take the 2 perfect angles, no one's going to be able to escape it. And if the circle comes our way, it's GG. And in that case, it was.
All right, let's take a look at our STC match rankings, get an idea of how many points they got, as well as the other teams out there. And 27 points.
Big points again. Huh?
It's good. But then you look at the first match and like, I'm not as good as Vampire with their 39. But I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Claris, you did say Vampire should be on 52 points now.
52 points. It's insane.
Ridiculous.
I really kind of didn't expect that, considering that they had a bit of a rougher game this one, but still 7 eliminations coming their way when they're kind of being a bit scrappy, fighting in from kind of that southwest side to fight towards these final circles. So very impressive for Vampire Esports to put themselves, what is effectively now, so far ahead after just 2 games.
Yeah, and doing that in like a 3-day tournament, once again, like that is very impressive. Like that could make a huge difference at the final ranking. So we'll see if they can try and keep up the pace a little bit. I think they struggled mostly because they had a 2-2 split and it took a little bit too long to get back together. They got caught off, but at least the intention was there. They still got 7 eliminations very, very early on in that game. So yeah, first place by far, and now it's the team to beat currently.
Well, we are seeing, Team Falcons, some consistency, doing well on match 1, now on match 2, the local team here from Saudi Arabia. Stalwart Esports as well, yet again, able to get there with 16 points. Even Vampire down in 5th, and then you look at Donuts in 8th. Like, we're seeing, I mean, yeah, it's 2 matches. I understand the statistics work, Sean. Don't worry, don't come over here and yell at me. But we are seeing some consistency start to show.
But the divide in terms of the top-heavy stack here of the top 5 compared to anything 6th and down is huge. Anybody 6th and lower here in this lobby, 6th through 18th, really didn't get much to their name here. Only single digits, under 5 points as a whole. It really shows that everybody in that top 5 had great vantage points to be able to blast at anything that came along from them. Chumacera, especially kind of that northwest side, is kind of notorious for some of these high ground spots that people will stake claim to and then be able to effectively turrets from on the rest of the lobby.
Yeah, and there was still in this game a lot of things that we did not expect that were actually happening. I think that's one point you brought up, Kalaris, while we were watching that game, is that RSG did not go for like one of their main jobs they go, which I think is Southern Picado. So teams are still like trying to bring different things to the table, and I think we can expect more adaptation as we go on. Yeah,
adaptation is definitely the word for it. I think what we'll see from RSG is a slight change up. I mean, they got them for 5 points, and they're kind of in that kind of mishmash of kind of everybody getting that 5 points. But they can get themselves even more, I think is fair to say, when it comes to... I mean, normally they drop in terms of like a full split south of Picado, but they actually went for 1 person there and 3 people up towards La Bendita, kind of rivaling where Morph was. They can go back to that south Picado split and I think have much more success in their next Miramar games.
That's what VOD Review is going to help out, right? They're going to see that opportunity like, okay, we're going to go right for that spot, and if it works out for them, they could find some chicken dinners over on Miramar.
We are seeing, look at this fluke, highest damage, grenade eliminations as well. Remember, we do have, was it $5,000 for the player with the most grenade eliminations throughout the event?
I don't remember the exact amount, but it is a decent amount of money. I can tell you that much.
I'm going to be honest, at this point, it might all go to Vampires. Every single penny of it. In terms, if you get $52
points.
now they're all going to be playing Orm for the next one to get the Eagle Eye.
It's ridiculous to see them get that many points in just 2 games to start.
Well, if you guys have actually missed the match, luckily for you, we have some highlights brought to you by Sony here, as we're going to take a quick little recap of what all went down. And, of course, TJB is going to start things off here, and why wouldn't it, considering they took home the chicken dinner?
Yeah. I mean, it's home territory, right? You do not mess with the Chumacera location. If you do, TJB, they're going to be lurking in the shadows, ready to strike at any opportunity coming their way. So you got to be careful about it. And I think that teams might be looking back on this game and saying, like, okay, Chumacera, let's be a little bit careful around that.
And I think it's cool as well because normally when we see TGB actually get themselves wins around Chumacera, it's kind of like the circle came to them and they really didn't have many people rivaling their positions, and then they kind of win. But in this game, that wasn't really the case. There were a few breaches onto their position that they had to defend from, and then once they realized that they have command over the circle, as you were mentioning towards the end, they pincered Falcons. They gave them no room, no opportunity to be able to get out of here, and Zhao's position on the overlook here, perfect to shut them down.
Yeah, I don't like using the word impossible, but I think
overlook, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's down. Is the overlook like this?
No, that's a plateau.
So is this the I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why
I don't know why I'm doing this. Go ahead.
I don't know what you're trying to But I don't like using the word impossible, but I think in this case, it is almost impossible for Falcons to get out of that situation. It's just how good the lockdown from TJB actually was. So, and it's great. Like, Western Europe is not a team that, not a region that we usually know as great when it comes to international tournaments. They get a win now.
Yeah.
I'm hyped to see if they can continue.
Because it's not just Xiao's position that is actually oppressive from there. It's also the fact that they basically have a 1-2-1 split across that circle to be able to just have so many angles of oppressive fire onto where Falcons is. So, yeah, very difficult for Falcons to do anything from that spot.
I think that's why you saw them kind of tanking the blue as well, realizing it's probably not realistic for us to fight our way out of this. Maybe just try to deny some points, because again, it could come down in the very end. We've seen how many PMPLs now, how many events where like 1 or 2 points would have gotten you double the prize pool, or like 10, 20, 50K more bucks in your pocket, and it could come down to that yet again.
Just half a million, you know. It's easy money. Just like a day. It's day rate for Colaris.
Hey, that's my joke.
Okay, I have to take it at some point.
I appreciate
gotta
that
be
you
mean
both
to
think
Max.
I'm extremely wealthy. That's fine. Thank you.
It begins.
If you actually don't realize, in the talent room, the green room, while we're watching the matches, Colaris just sitting there talking about financial investments and trying to actually get us to invest our money in many different ways.
I'm just trying to help you live your life. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, but I don't think my investment in Pokemon cards is going to help me later in life.
I disagree. I will respectfully disagree.
All right. Well, any other teams you want to mention here? I know we actually wanted to take a look at like a head-to-head here between two teams. Not sure if that's ready to go just yet. But we haven't seen overalls, but we do know, obviously, Vampires in currently first place. And I was even talking to the Indonesian talent, and they're like, well, sorry, talking to Junior, I will say, because the other talent disagreed with him quite heavily, where he's like, Vampire, that's not a big deal. That's not that good of a game. The other teams will do better in match 5 or 6. And I'm like, bro, 5 or 6? There's only 18 matches to play in the entire event. Match 5 or 6 isn't going to carry you through.
Was he defending Vampires, or was he the one that...
He was saying like, it's not that big of a deal. Other teams will do better.
All right,
like,
well, he's wrong. That's fine. you can be wrong. That's okay.
Yeah, I think if they keep being wrong, we'll take their studio. I think that's...
well, if they keep being wrong, then I think Maximus can move over to the Indonesian talent, because when it comes to predictions, that's typically where you would go.
I think that's going to work out eventually. But you're talking about other teams that we'd like to mention, right? I think one team that comes in my mind, at least, that I thought would be a lot more prepared than this is Nigma Galaxy. They had 2 games in a row now where they go out like super early. I think they got 0 points game 1 and 2 points in this second game. I think they need to get himself back on track a little bit. It's only the first map of each. Like, we had 1 Erangel, 1 Miramar. They can still adapt, right, on the next iteration of these maps, but they are struggling a little bit here.
But I feel like from our assessment of Nigma Galaxy when we watch them, I feel like they are a team of averages. And I feel like 2 games, small sample size, we can quite easily see them play out across an 18-gamer and find themselves in a bit of a better position. So, yeah, I think they've got things to fix for these 2 games, but I won't spell doom for them. I think they're all right.
We're not even halfway done with the first day. Like, it's okay. There's still time to adapt and bring some changes.
Yeah, no, impossible. Impossible. Max doesn't hardly say
it. You can't use that word. You can't, you can't do it.
It's Max's favorite word, I heard. Impossible, yeah.
I don't think so.
No,
I think I just said the opposite like 5 minutes ago, but okay, it's fine.
Exactly. I thought Max's favorite word was stop it.
Stop it. When I'm talking to you, yes, that's in my vocabulary all the time.
Well, let's actually jump into a quick head-to-head here between our 2 top-performing teams in the last match. Obviously, got to take a closer look at TJB here and just kind of the overalls. And again, Falcons, the position they were in, some really good damage being done. And we obviously, if you guys haven't watched any of the other titles that we've had here in G8, this team, well, not this team in particular, this organization actually in another title surprised the world with how well they've done. And I know Max has been talking very highly of Team Falcons and how they could do it yet again here in PMWI for PUBG Mobile.
Yeah, and in particular, when you're looking at this tournament, right, I think there's like a stigma around invited teams, right? They're not going to perform as well.
Yeah, right. Like, why are they there? They don't deserve to be here.
But they won like PMP Arabia for the full season, right? They are currently the reigning champions of Arabia, so there is that background to them.
They didn't just win it. They were almost 100 points ahead of second place. I feel like they should have been here, and then in the next stage, and then in the next stage. That they could have invited them to the end of time, considering the kind of performance that they were able to put up in their region as a whole.
Yeah.
So,
and they
ridiculous.
Also dethrone Nigma Galaxy as well, who was third place in PMGC, who was dominating Arabia, the team with the most chicken dinners out of any other PMPL. Like, this is actually a really good sign, but also it makes me kind of sad, because sad and happy, I guess, if I think about it. Sad that like teams that are so consistent, you look at like Bigatron, I mean, maybe Nigma Galaxy now, teams who generally perform really well, just have these like ups and downs throughout the year. But then also I'm kind of happy because you get to see these new teams come out of nowhere, and maybe Team Falcons, maybe we'll see them in PMGC, maybe they could pull off an upset.
Yeah, I mean, it's very surprising too, because when you compare Nigma Galaxy and Falcons, like Nigma Galaxy have that international experience, right, in PMGC. They've already played that.
Yeah.
And they actually did really well, right? They got, what, 3rd place, I believe it was, last year. So they couldn't technically perform at this level, and Falcons just came in as a huge surprise already and are performing so well. So the question is, can they keep that rhythm going? If so, there's a chance that they can compete, except for Vampire, because they got like 50-something points, yeah.
Yeah, they were ultra consistent in their regional.
Yeah.
It's fair to say. I think with like more, we even saw back-to-back first places coming in from them when it came to kind of their approach to the game as a whole. And again, I think that they're cutting in this game in particular to just then hold off their Regnums as well as STE's kind of battle that was going on. It's the perfect opportunistic play to say, okay, there are these two big powerhouse teams clashing head-to-head, but this is a stranglehold on your ability to continue in the game. You might be able to defeat each other, but you're not going to get any further in this game because we've set up a barrier for you to do anything else.
Okay, well, this is a nice little talk about Team Falcons as well here. I want to learn a little bit more about them, though, in a series we like to call This or That.
M7. It's faster. I have a skin, so I have to use it. The UMP, less recoil, and I think it's faster. Erangel. The roads are not bumpy, and your car gets stuck in Miramar, so Erangel is way better. Pochinki, yeah. Movie theater. But I like cats more. In Saudi, it's winter. Water rotation. Buggy. A 7.62. Joker is a lot cooler. M24. I can get a lot of knocks, but with the car, like I can't do. I don't know how to shoot the shot. Psychological issue with the gun.
Well, great to hear some This or That from them. It's great to learn a little bit more, like cats versus dogs. Max, cat or dog?
Dog, 100%. I'm not even thinking about it, and I think you're the same.
Yeah, I'm allergic to cats. They're rubbish.
Especially for you, then.
Well, you know what? Maybe not a veterinarian, but for hospitals, Dr. Soliman Habib, obviously a big shout out to him as well for putting on this event. We're helping support this event as well here for all of us who are watching, and maybe if you're playing as well, should be pretty happy about it coming through. And actually, I heard a story, not to like promote them even more. There's actually a free hospital like right near this event where you can literally just walk in if you need anything, X-ray in 15 minutes, get bandages, anything like that, really quickly. So it's actually really, really cool. I'm really happy to hear
their
that.
thumbs, you know, on the phone, they can like, yeah, you can go.
I wasn't talking about players, but I just meant in general, but really
hey,
cool.
Gaming
Free
is
healthcare.
intense, man, okay?
We're looking after the players, Jason, all right? That's our priority.
That's true. That is true. Players are priority number one when it comes to any esport. But gentlemen, we're going to be heading into our next map like soon-ish, right? That's a big one.
Uh-oh.
You know what map it is, right?
Uh-oh.
It's going to be Sandhawk.
It's going to be Sandhawk. And this is where things are going to be very interesting. If it wasn't chaotic enough when it came to 16 teams, well, we now have 18 teams going to be on this map. And Max, I know you've been talking about boot camp a lot when it comes to this.
Boot camp, you got 3 teams drop in there. Like, it's going to be absolute hell. And we know as a fact that a lot of the teams are very stubborn. Like, they are not going to give that location away. And also the heal-off. Nigma Galaxy TJB, they're also going to commit to it potentially. That's going to be also a very interesting interaction.
Yeah, no, definitely. We've as studying has gone on, yes, there are some people that are notorious for that heal off. Maybe there's going to be a little bit of a change for some of these teams in terms of who is actually doing the healing themselves. But as you say, in terms of drops, boot camp's a hot topic. Trifecta split has been a hot topic when we've been looking at some of these teams. Will be conflicts here and there, and as well as trying to transition from location to location, be it the Northwest Island, the Southwest Island, and the mainland. That's why the Trifecta split was really cool. We saw Damwon Kia trying to employ it in their region, but then they got kind of pushed off. I'm just excited to see if we get the conflicts that I'm expecting to see happen here at the beginning of the game.
I hope it is. I hope it's going to happen, to be honest. But at the same time, you got the Galaxy, you got TJB, you've got heal-offs. We saw it happen in Western Europe quite a few times. If I'm not mistaken, Lin healed like 3,000 healing himself alone.
We are going to see some 3,000 heals coming out. I'm going to go, the highest one will be 3.1k for this game. That's a prediction.
No.
Actually,
no.
Wait.
Impossible.
No, actually, that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler, Jason.
Read the script. We agreed with not doing that.
Sorry, I apologize.
I can't with this guy.
I can't with either of you. No,
I can't with us, yeah.
But I mean, like, the thing is, I know we knocked on it a little bit when it came to PMPL Western Europe with TJB constantly doing that, but it's a viable strategy on a map with $2 million on the line. If you can sit in the blue, heal off, then why not?
I mean, there's an interesting factor you got to add to the mix, right? Is that if they do both commit to that Same split to get all the meds right, whichever team eliminates the other, you pick up all of that. Like, you could see like 4,000 maybe.
This is your meds? This is my meds.
My meds now.
That's right, that's right. And it becomes even more challenging when you consider it's 18 teams on Sandhawk. This is not a big battleground. So limitation in drops, I want to see Camp Bravo as well as that split going down. We'll see if that fight continues on.
Yeah, we do have Sandhawk coming up next, but once again, I want to remind you guys at home what's all going to be going down as we do have the Vibe and Drive event currently happening. During the event, you can log into the game and complete the corresponding missions with your friends if you have them. If you don't, Max will help you out. And you can get your hands on a free permanent legendary set. So make sure you guys don't miss it. Make sure you guys are checking out as much as possible there. You can see the dates. It runs through the 24th, starting on the 11th. But it's time now to head into Sandhawk here onto the Moist map where there's going to be a lot of healing, a lot of blood, and a lot of eliminations for these teams. John Allen and Blink, take it away.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to, as I was saying, the 3K plus healing that Kilaris has foretold. He read that script, and we're going to be looking out for it. 18 teams on Sandhawk. Chaos, chaos, chaos. That's what we're waiting for. That's what we're looking to see. Max was excited about the boot camp drops. I'm excited to see who decides to go elsewhere, who decides to take the L on their original drop spot and go around the way.
Yeah, so actually, for Enigma Galaxy, you'll find this quite interesting.
Okay.
This is a little tidbit for you.
I'm prepared.
For their actual Spring 2022 finals, their Sandhawk was their most successful map out of all of them.
Oh.
They had a third, then they had a second, and then they had a first. So it just got better throughout the tournament for them. And that's over all Sandhawks that they played. So that's kind of insane for Enigma Galaxy as a team. So this is where they can start to make back some of their points. Unfortunately, though, like I said earlier, Enigma Galaxy has had a bit of a miserable start, to be honest with you. And I'm not sure how I would be feeling in the situation, especially at a live event like this. I don't think I'd be feeling too good. But Sandhawk, now it's time to bring those points back and see if Enigma Galaxy can do it. Again, though, it is that boot camp drop, which is going to be ridiculous. It's Regan's, it's Box Gaming, it's Stalwart, all potentially in one place, battling out for boot camp.
That lobster is going to be real hectic in just moments' time in the middle of it. You must know, you know.
I know the lobster. It's going to be drenched in players in a second. It's going to be a big problem for boot camp. Alternatively, everyone could leave boot camp alone, and it's not worth it here in the 18-team lobby, especially with there being so little landmass here on Sandhawk in particular.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tricky to find those places, to find that area, to call your own. And already, teams starting to drop out. I'm looking at the Wildcats heading north. They play a hot-in split normally on the Sandhawk drops. We saw that in those practice games earlier. Looks like they're not going to change that. And let's look at the boot camp teams. Down one passing over it right now. Down one Kia and Stalwarts potentially looking to land. I think Down one Kia are going to head further north given their speed. Back-to-back drop a little bit short. And actually, Aton go to Painan right in the middle of that map. One team in boot camp. Only Stalwart right in the middle of it. Seoul spread out in the hills to the east.
I mean, to be honest with you, I wouldn't challenge Stalwart out for boot camp either. I think they pretty much just win that every single time. I think you have to out-macro Stalwart just because they are so strong in an individual fight. TJB and Enigma Galaxy down towards Sami, though. This is quite interesting. Enigma Galaxy usually do a Sami split anyway, so it's TJB kind of encroaching on the territory. Now, Enigma Galaxy, the problem for them is they love all of Sami to themselves to pick up as many meds as possible, but they might be getting into a fight early that they don't want to take, and TJB, once again, from Miramar, causing problems for Enigma Galaxy.
It's really not fun. But I'll tell you what would be fun. If you complete daily missions to earn points for the PMWI Watch Together, once you get enough points accumulated, tap on the rewards icon to claim the corresponding reward.
Well, that's GZ going down for Regans, but for that event, you can participate solo or as a team. And remember, playing solo is absolutely okay, but teaming up could get you some more rewards.
Certainly would make it easier, but we're going to be getting into this game. Losing a player early for RSG Sandhawk could be disastrous. For Regans Gaming, GZ, as you said, Blank, goes down, right? Sandhawk, the most important map to keep all 4 alive in terms of needing that firepower on your feet, right? You need to have it all up. You need to have that ready in your arsenal, but Lightning goes down as well. Team Seoul for India. Finding 2 so far. Goblin does get knocked in response. It's only him in that little outpost there, but there's 2 players for Regan's Gaming. They're going to be slow just a little bit, but I don't think Goblin is long for this world. Will be taken down. Regan's Gaming. Carried.
Regan's obviously abandoning that boot camp drop. Have to go somewhere else.
They will have to try and find something, make something of their position. In the meantime, we see TJB and Enigma Galaxy split apart just a little bit. Neither of those teams have lost players just yet, so they didn't really want that fight. I mean, TJB, if I'm not mistaken, also kind of tried to play the southwest side, right, in the European tournaments, and try to play from that area. So that hot drop maybe could have been foreseen just a little bit. But Enigma Galaxy, for the first time, don't lose a player on that initial engagement.
My God.
Back to back. How...
Oh, that is shameful.
You'd think with a DBS, one of those would have landed.
Especially when you're laid down with the DBS on the drop of a player. You hear that, like, 4 shots went out there, and he still did not go down.
There was 6, wasn't there?
6 shots. So maybe he was just shooting his toes off. That wasn't quite enough to take him down. He's now running on his, basically, ankles. He's still alive, though, so it's fine.
Just ankle bones, just like, I mean, it's probably quite soft earth in Sandhawk,
yeah,
right?
He has
it's quite
speed
humid
now, right?
Yeah, he's got traction on the hills.
Yeah, he's just flying forward. 4 rifles moving up towards USG's position. Missile did go down for Donuts, trying to get up the stairs. Just about makes it, though, but that Molotov should seal the deal, but goes short, unfortunate.
I think it just hit the eaves there and bounced down. The missile's not going to get rezzed here for USG Donuts. 4 rivals should be able to pick up that point lickety-split. And there it is. The nade seals it. Their fate will be run from here. 4 players, 1 elimination for 4 rivals.
Back-to-back, trying to play down towards the west side of Quarry with Aton Esports as well. So Aton giving up Camp Bravo to USG. USG so far just kind of had their drop spots to themselves. You know, they couldn't take El Pozo, but they took El Azhar to themselves. Now taking Camp Bravo. Yes, 52 Esports are coming in from Mongnai, but it's not a big deal for them, though. USG have got real pick of the litter so far on all these maps.
I was just looking at some of the other drop spots because we focused a little bit on the engagements that we saw on screen, but I was looking at the Wildcats. I'm not sure if they dropped initially there, but they didn't actually opt to put a player on the eastern shoreline, right? They didn't opt to have that presence or keep that presence there, certainly. I'm not sure if they had that originally, but they have regrouped to that western shoreline near Hatin on the northwestern island. So they don't really have that strength or confidence in crossing potentially. They don't really know about the ground around Paradise Resort, which is currently being vacated by VGS.
Yeah, VGS taking this position for most of their Sandhawks already. Paradise Resort is their home. Hatin being, you know, the general spot that we would see Wildcats dropping in anyway on Sandhawk. Vampire Esports, though, taking shots onto Flukath here from TJB, who've really started to heat up here in this tournament.
I mean, certainly a good game last time around. Taking that chicken dinner. And they're pushing in. Vampire Esports, though, not a team to push over. This team has been absolutely on fire so far, as they were talking about on the desk, topping the tables right now. Top dogs. Or cats, if you prefer.
I do prefer, actually. Vampire Esports, so they did get that really nice ruin split at the beginning of the game, and now they're really trying to get out of this difficult situation. They've had so much time to set up here in Ruins, and TJB completely taking them by surprise on the coast.
Excellent crossfire established there by TJB. 2 players going down. There is no chance you get them back up. Ravenclaw and Flukath now left. 2 players alive. The Vampire Esports maybe looking for a nade, some damage over Tingsker, but Xiao rezzed. Back up for TJB.
Ravenclaw would love to find at least 1 more knock here. Nade over the top, but as time goes down, but it's Flukath who have been really strong throughout all these games. Finds Lin, And that is a little bit of pressure taken off from him. He was right in the midst of all these players from Vampire Esports. So far, Stoned as well as Schweppes have yet to be eliminated. There is still chance for recovery here for Vampire Esports, with Virtual Gaming Squad on the northern side just coming down from Camp Alpha. This could be a third party.
But there is absolutely a clock ticking. GK First lands a beautiful shot to Fluket on the ridgeline. GK First has been pivotal in this fight. He was the person who was part of the crossfire in those initial 2 knocks on the buggy players, and he's just taken down the 3rd member from Vampire Esports. This is GK First at his best.
It is very unlikely that Vampire Esports walk away with this one from any more than just one player. Now Ravenclaw is on the run, and TJB, they are hunting down this final player quickly behind him. Very good stuff so far.
One player alive, yeah. You just got to get out of that. Try and keep yourself alive. This is where the heal strat could come in. Right, for Vampire Esports, they could potentially try and just send Ravenclaw up to get as many first aids as you can. You're playing on that southwest side near Tambang. You can try and just loot up these compounds, grab as many meds as possible. Four boosters total, 2 first aids. You've got 10 bandages to see you through as well. Ravenclaw could potentially use that time. It's still early circles. Get loot, get first aids, and play for a survival game.
Yeah, as a single player, there is a lot you can do as a single player. So by no means is this over. Realistically, I think the person that won out the most between this engagement is Nigma Galaxy. The fact that TJB disengaged from Sami means that Nigma Galaxy had time with this new circle to head down towards Bantai, potentially up to Camp Charlie, and keep looting up some more of those meds. Ralph used to be the big healer for the team, but more recently it's been Lord doing a lot of it, so we will see who exactly decides to go for that one. But this next circle favoring Falcons once again, so another time to really put up those points, put up those numbers for Falcons themselves. But we will see what happens with Morph GGG still trying to make it happen here in this tournament.
A particularly alliterative Quarry Camp, Cave, Kampong finish is potentially on the cards here. As the southeast circle shifts in, more from the south coast like you were mentioning there, Blank. 52. Potentially getting spotted out by Donuts USG here. It's over towards the north side of Lakawi, on the north end of the circle. 52 trying to move down the coast.
This is a horrific spot to play from 52 Esports. I mean, I've dropped here before, and if you get a team or some players on this ridgeline looking down towards you, it is very hard to leave, even with just the 3 players that Donuts has.
2 versus 4 that they're on this ridgeline with, but it's not going to matter. Immediate knocks coming through, and 52 are torn apart, decimated. 5.2 now, Blank.
They just completely break down. It is very, very unfortunate. You're right. These guys got divided up with a couple of quick slashes coming through from the Japanese team. And now it's Pain running away. And you can tell that this team is absolutely in pain. They try and just get away from this kerfuffle. And honestly, that's what happens. And Donuts USG must have been trailing this team for a long, long time. And once you get on that downslope, you know, there is no cover whatsoever. Great angle taken by Omikun to really open up that engagement, especially having the confidence to do that 3v4 as well. They knew that they had the angles to make it happen. And those are the kind of points that you just need in this tournament to keep bumping up your leaderboard.
The circle's not going to hurt too much just now. So teams like Wildcats, who are very far north at the moment, leaving a player even as far back as Tap Mock, just passing Paradise Resort now that we saw Virtual Gaming Squad leave earlier. They are going to be okay for the time being. And they will have had plenty of time to loot up those meds, play for potentially that one out there. TJB as well, in the meantime, all the way out near Narkam, sorry. And Sami still has the last player from Vampire Esports.
And this is the difference between Nigma Galaxy, who dominates on a map like Sandhawk, and TJB, who tries to go for a heal strat here on Sandhawk. They're out in the blue so long. Nigma Galaxy tries to push in as far as they can into these circles before they start going for the heal strat. They already took the boat down from Bantai, headed over towards dockside. Now they're going to move up, cause as much chaos as possible in these final circles with potentially 3 or 4 members. Then drop one guy behind. He's not had to use any medical supplies all this time until he goes into blue, and that's what gives them the edge on any of these other healing teams. But they have such confidence, such good ideas of how all the other teams rotate to stay out of the way for as long as possible to make that happen.
Damwon Kia have taken a couple of knocks on that north side with 52 trying to move past. The next circle just about to shift on in.
All right, Vampires.
That's okay. That's, I mean, what can you do? What can you do?
All right, Vampires.
Okay, all right. Okay. A lot of this is, well, it's not, obviously it's not just Sandhawk stats. This is the first Sandhawk we played so far this tournament. They are going to be looking pretty healthy, especially after that first game. What was it, 26 limbs, 24 limbs?
24,
in the first game coming through. That's really just going to pump those stats. It's going to be a while before we don't see a Vampire up there.
Yeah, it's very, very crazy stuff so far coming through from Vampire. Honestly, it's just a case of, you know, you raise from your coffin in the morning, easy peasy, back in the coffin at night. You know, they're just slamming the lid on the first day already with that massive performance in game 1. So really, really good stuff. Now, Circle centers up, which is very, very nice here for Nigma Galaxy. They can really just keep it easy on this southern edge.
Wildcats spot Damwon Kia and further hamper their progression down south. Junie looks for the retribution onto X-Ray. Sung's taken a lot of damage in the meantime, but X-Ray escapes unscathed there. A long spread out progression line for Wildcats, but there's the answer. Junie taken a knee there to Boran from the Wildcats. Starting to move forwards, wants to play aggressive. 2 players knocked for Damwon Kia now. Sung and Forrest standing.
Damwon just do not look confident. Honestly, we're so used to their playstyle of heading center very early and taking control of that. And it almost feels like they're afraid because of this 18-team lobby to actually go for something like that. But that's where they excel. They're really good at controlling those final circles, but they never have the opportunity so far. And I think this is something that might need to change over the next 3 games or potentially even coming into tomorrow. But will it be too late by then? We'll just have to wait and see. With Vampire Esports going out very early here, though, it does give a chance to some of these other teams at the top.
Forrest trying to heal up. It looked like Damwon Kia actually got all 4 of themselves back up. Okay, fair enough. They were allowed to res. The pressure not quite there from the Wildcats, but they will be known. They will know that this rotation's coming through. If there's a boat in Lakawi, you might even want to take that and sail down south. But even then, you got Nigma Galaxy. The absolute machines here on Sandhawk to deal with if you want to try and take that route.
Yeah, 2 points in 16th place to 18 points in 5th place with Box Esports. I mean, you can easily jump up a lot here. Freak stays behind at the moment, looking to pick up some more meds. Not sure if he'll regroup with the team. Honestly, they're able to, it's interchangeable, which their healer is at the end. It just very much, I was talking to Kalaris about this actually, and we were having the discussion. He was saying, you know, it's very interchangeable who your healers are, particularly because, you know, it's very different setups. You don't want to switch over weapon types that someone's more comfortable with. So you just give the guy who's got the most medical supplies, because it's easy to just splurge out a ton of first aid kits on the floor than it is to switch out entire loadouts.
The next circle just about to pop. It's really moving down towards Kampong, towards docks. See where the next one does fall. And it's fairly central, northwest, just to the east side of Quarry. Team Seoul, with their backs to Quarry, have a pretty solid position to hold, but they're most likely going to have to leave it in the next phase. Looking at Box Gaming as well, can they set up that compound? Can they set up the box fort?
That is the real question here at the moment. Already a 375 elimination meter-wise for Stalwart. Really, really good stuff. Now, Stalwart's going to struggle but they are quite far at the top of the leaderboard at the moment. I believe they're in 3rd place, just behind TJB at the moment. And yeah, there haven't been like massive standout games for them, but they're consistently there in 1st, 2nd place, 3rd place. They're just making it happen, and this is the consistency you want to see from a championship team. So 32 points just behind TJB and 33 at the moment, but they have to make it through the swampy marshes of Quarry.
Vivo keeps suffering heavily at the hands of back-to-back. We're doing a lot of work now. 2 players down and out for Vivo Key, the Brazilian representatives. Nades answering though, as Diego not having any of it. Polo goes down to the nade. A lot of damage was put in on that push as well. J-Way spotted. More nades being popped over now by Diego, suppressing these angles. Look at the low health bars for back-to-back. Diego crawls on forwards, and it is bombardment. Nade after nade. Fire now burning away at the heels of back-to-back. Can they regroup here? That nade a little bit long, but it finds nearly getting the knock. Diego tears them apart, gets everything done, and back-to-back with 2. Take care of business.
Diego could not have made that look any easier. Dropped the smoke and then just through that sent the bullets whistling, including the grenades, and back-to-back have just had back-to-back bad games here in the PMWI. And USA just really want to step this up at the moment. We know that back-to-back can be good. They have stood tall in their region before.
Certainly look at a stand tall, and if you want to be competing with the best of them, you need to complete those daily missions, I'll tell you that, to earn points. Once enough points are accumulated, you can tap on the rewards icon to claim the corresponding reward.
You can participate in that event solo, or you can team up with other players. That's absolutely fine. You get some more rewards if you team up anyway. You've got extra chances there. And for 2022 PMWI Guns getting an outfit, there is a sale period on currently from the 4th of August through to the 13th, and that is 50% off PMWI packs, and you get a set straight away and 5 chances to draw PMWI treasure chests.
And after that, you do miss that window, the 14th of August until the 15th of September, 16% off PMWI packs, and you get 6 chances to draw PMWI treasure chests. We're back into the game though. There's Stalwart coming up against Team Seoul, who did, as I say, have their backs to the quarry. And are going to be looking to try and hold them off for the time being. A lot of damage sent. 1 res found. Omega spotted in the sideline. Stalwart still have all 4 there. Still have them all available. Omega stands up and gets rebuffed immediately. Hector eliminated, swept aside. Can Stalwart stay alive? They will have to try and survive just that little bit longer.
Unbelievable stuff. Great stuff coming through from them. And you can celebrate too with the regions and your team region as well. So the top 3 teams for a region will have the chance to win a prize, and it's a maximum of 1 award per user. And that's through from the 4th of August through to the 13th of August this month.
And if you're watching as well, you're contributing to the potential peak concurrent watch viewers of this stream. If we reach 100 million live watching, then everyone could get items in the 2022 PMWI Lucky Crate with a maximum of 1 award per user.
Please visit the in-game 2022 PMWI Watch Together event every day from the 11th of August for more information.
You can find that all out there. Box holding on the north side against Stalwart, who are still recovering from that fight and may not be able to do so. However, they might have done the work they needed to. Consistency, as we said, always about Stalwart is the name of the game. Keep those points nice and high, keep them tumbling over. A lot of eliminations coming through. Vampire finally taken down a peg. TJB with 1 player left coming off the back of the chicken dinner. Not ideal, but it's Box Gaming and Morph with all 4 players alive.
Stalwart still going strong with 2 though, which is very, very good, but this is a very good opportunity for Box Gaming. Saudi Arabia's Team Falcons, they only have 2 players. 1 player is down. There's potential to get them back up again, but they have been in the circle a long, long time. Look at this though, John. Enigma Galaxy out, 0 points.
Not good. Far from ideal. Taking a look around for healers out in the zone. At the moment, I see, as you say, Damwon Kia. Right, Fabian healing, northeastern side. Maybe trying to just stay alive for as long as possible, and it might work. 8 teams remain, and so many of those have 2 or 1 player remaining. I think it's 6 of those teams. 4 of those teams have 1 player, 2 of those teams have 2.
Honestly, not all these teams have got many points. I think that, you know, Vivo Keyed have got 8 eliminations so far, but realistically, we can say that's just from Diego's unbelievable performance, the masterclass he set upon us with the smoke play. Incredible stuff. Action, though, still on the ground. Looking for Box here. Does stand up. Doesn't quite take him down, but will look for more.
Gets the knock on the sidelines around the tree trunk. Action still in the fight, still alive, but for how much longer? Finally spotted, finally handled by Bensu around the edge, but there's backup, potentially slowing down things for Box Gaming, and Pika's going to have to heal. 13 first aids, down to 12 now. That looks like they're going to heal out in the zone for Stalwart.
He's going out here.
No stims.
Big struggle for him. Like you say, no stims is very difficult. Zay moves up for Morph, and they have been having a bad time. Coming into this game with 0 points right at the bottom of the leaderboard. Morph GGG, though, looking to make something happen. They have 4 players alive, and that really does spell a victory here on Sandhawk, especially when the rest of the teams are down 3, 2, 1, 1.
Look at that. You see the stims that currently on board for the last player from Stalwart are going to be there, so a little bit of time there. Damar also looking to heal out, but this is the last first aid kit for Team Falcons. It looks like a 5th place finish, unless someone goes down first, unless someone gets spotted. Diego eliminated out there. Still 1 player left for Vivo Key, but Box Gaming trying to roll down this hill against Morph. With 3 eliminations, they've been fairly quiet so far on that tally. But they're going to have to try and fight off against Box descending. Some nice angles. Bensu spotted, handled. Another knock on the backlines. Looks like this is going to be Morph all the way.
Oh
as they
my
spot
God.
yet another, and they are going to be able to take control of this zone. It's only the players out of sight that will be proving to be problematic in terms of finishing this game out. Cielo for Vivo Keyed and Pika for Stalwart Esports.
Morph will take those 6 eliminations and a chicken dinner any day of the week. Pika tries to jump into the blue, but won't quite make it in time as he falls. And Vivo
Hang on a minute.
will take
What
the
Hello?
hell?
Wait a minute. Oh, finally spotted. It looked a little bit dangerous
down.
there. But 3 of them go down. In the end, the last player stands up, and Morph take control. They take the chicken dinner.
What just happened? I'm not, like, honestly, that just does not happen. I was not prepared for it. Well done, Vivo Key. That came out of nowhere for that team, but Morph will take 20 points, which should send them pretty far up the leaderboard from 18th place. But that was a win that they desperately needed. I think if any team wanted it, it was 18th place, and that'll put them in good stead for the future. The rest of the teams, though, you know, is still Stalwart, putting up those consistent points throughout the entirety of this tournament so far. No flashy wins, but those can still come later on.
And good news for the teams trying to chase down the vampires, right?
Yeah.
They did not have the greatest performance in this game. They didn't have the sort of performance that we've come to expect from them in these first 2 games. I mean, sure, right? It's only 2 games that we've seen from them, but that first game was so spectacular. I'm sure everyone's still thinking about it. This one, not so much. Sandhawk, maybe not their strong suit.
No, not at all. I mean, I think that my biggest sadness was the fact that Nick McGallis, goes out with 0 points. This was meant to be your map, guys. And honestly, it just does not come to fruition here. There is a fair few teams that are starting to really solidify their place towards the top. Obviously, we have 2 extra days. Tune in for them. They're going to be very, very exciting regardless. But that is where things really do start to take root. It's where you have those consistent matches. And I think that keeping yourself in range to the top side is very, very important. And Box and Stalwart currently doing that.
Absolutely. We'll be looking for more of that action, more progression, more solidarity from the rest of the teams. We're going to go to a short break. Back to the desk after.